Tonight, the Eagles faced a storm on defense that could change their entire season. A rookie quarterback lit up the Bengals' defense like never before, while Philly's cornerback struggled in a way no fan wanted to see. The clock is ticking for the Eagles to make a move, but will it be too late? This preseason game wasn't just a test, it was a wake-up call. Stay with me, because what happens next could decide everything. Tanner McKee's preseason debut was nothing short of spectacular. From the first snap, he sliced through the Bengals' first-string defense like a hot knife through butter. His throws were sharp, precise, and he made some amazing plays to show off forgotten talent at wide receiver. The offense looked alive, confident, and ready to build on the promise they left off with in 2024. But while McKee shined, the defensive side of the ball struggled in a way that overshadowed much of the excitement. Cornerbacks Keely Ringo and Dory Jackson had a rough night, really rough. The Bengals' star receiver Yamar Chase targeted them relentlessly, burning them for big plays and a touchdown. It was clear these two are facing a huge challenge ahead. Even after the game, Ringo admitted he needed to do better, saying, "A good player makes a good play, but I have to come out and make better plays next time." That honesty shows heart, but Philly's defense can't afford many nights like this. In fact, between Ringo and Jackson, the two combined allowed 8 catches on 9 targets for over 100 yards and a touchdown. That's a tough debut for Eagles fans already worried about their cornerbacks. Coaches, including Nick Sirianni, are trying to stay calm, reminding everyone it's just one game, and both corners still have room to grow. But the pressure is real, especially with a tough game coming up soon against elite receivers like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. So what will Howie Roseman do? Philadelphia's next move at cornerback might be closer than we think. One option is to see what Jacorian Bennett can offer. Bennett, recently acquired from the Raiders, was on the sideline warming up but didn't play, a sign the team is still figuring out how to use him. He could be the quick fix Philly needs. Another option? Signing a free agent like Asante Samuel Jr., a player who could bring some much-needed experience and stability. The Eagles are at a crossroads, and this preseason game laid it all bare. The offense gave us hope, but the defense raised alarms. Now, the question is, who will step up to fix it? Tell me what you think. How confident are you in Ringo and Jackson? Is Jacorian Bennett the answer, or should Philly bring in a veteran? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear your take on this critical cornerback battle. The Eagles have tough choices ahead at cornerback. If Jacorian Bennett, the new guy from the Raiders, doesn't prove himself fast, Philadelphia might go after a big name like Asante Samuel Jr. or even veterans like Steven Nelson or Stephen Gilmore. Honestly, if we keep seeing the same struggles from Dory Jackson and Keely Ringo, especially during their big joint practices with the Browns this week and the preseason game Saturday afternoon, alarm bells will really start ringing loud. It's okay to worry now. I'm right there with you. But let's see if the defense can bounce back before we hit panic mode. Now, before we dive deeper, quick shout out to David's protein bars. These have become my go-to for quick energy whether I'm hitting the gym or just need a healthy snack. If you're wondering about the taste, trust me, they're amazing. Soft, a bit chewy, with a nice crunchy crisp. My favorite is the fudge brownie, but the peanut butter chocolate chunk is a close second. Each bar packs 28 grams of protein with only 150 calories. That's a huge protein punch with no junk, and they're keto and gluten-free too. If you want to power up without the crash, check the link or QR code on screen for a free carton when you order 4 or more. Seriously, try them out. You'll love them. Back to football. Tanner McKee was the star of the night for the Birds' second-team offense. He faced 9 of the Bengals' projected starters in just the first quarter and shredded their defense. Jan Dotson was his main target early on, making tough catches, and Tyler Steen helped open a huge running lane for Will Shipley. But Tanner McKee, the Mormon missile, stole the show, completing 20 of 25 passes for 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, plus 1 tough run pushing through the defense. He's quickly cementing himself as one of the best backup quarterbacks in the entire NFL. Coaches praised him too. McKee showed great accuracy, good decision-making, and solid communication with his receivers. He said he's just taking every chance seriously, preparing for the Browns next week, and ready to execute no matter who's on the field. The confidence he's building is real, and it's easy to see why fans are buzzing. Some are even calling to trade him before the season, thinking the Eagles could get a massive return. But I'm not sold on that just yet. Having McKee ready to step in if a starter like Jalen Hurts gets hurt is huge. He's shown he can keep the team moving forward better than others like Dorian Thompson-Robinson or Kyle McCord could. Maybe next offseason he'll be trade bait, but right now, with the Super Bowl defense gearing up, he's too valuable to let go. Speaking of stars, Johnny Wilson had a breakout night. He made 3 tough catches for 73 yards, proving exactly why the Eagles believed in him coming out of Florida State. Watching Wilson step up like that gives every Eagles fan hope for what's to come. So, what do you think? Should the Eagles make a big move at cornerback? Is Tanner McKee their secret weapon or trade chip? And who else impressed you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the conversation started. From drop passes to game-changing catches, this preseason game was full of surprises and heartbreak. One wide receiver went from struggling at camp to shining under the bright lights, while another rookie is making fans believe he's the next big thing. But injuries struck hard, casting a shadow on an otherwise electric night. This story is about grit, hope, and the fight to make the team, and it's far from over. Don't blink, because you'll want to see every moment. Just a few days ago at training camp, Johnny Wilson was struggling. I counted at least 4 drops from him. For a player fighting hard to earn a roster spot, that kind of performance could be a disaster. But then, Thursday night came, and Johnny showed why he deserves a serious look. He had his best game yet, making big, tough catches that turned heads. One of those catches was especially impressive. The ball was a bit underthrown, but Johnny climbed up and grabbed it like a pro. His size and strength help him use his body perfectly, and that physical edge is exactly what the Eagles need from their wide receivers. It's easy to just look at stats, but Johnny did a lot more than just catch passes. He was blocking well, helping in the run game, and making a big impact on special teams. It takes time for a young receiver to get comfortable with NFL defenses, but Johnny's learning fast. He adjusted well on some tricky throws, especially that back shoulder catch where he turned perfectly to secure the ball and protect it. That's the kind of fundamental skill that keeps the ball in Eagles' hands instead of bouncing loose like it did on a near interception from rookie Jihad Campbell. Speaking of rookies, Darius Cooper is turning heads too. This undrafted free agent from Tarleton State looked like a smaller version of A.J. Brown out there. He caught 6 passes for 82 yards, including a beautiful touchdown catch where he showed great speed and hands. Cooper has been shining in training camp, but to make this roster, he had to prove himself in real games, and so far, he has. Still, he needs to keep it up because competition is fierce with Johnny Wilson and Ania Smith also fighting for spots. You really have to tip your hat to Cooper. He came in with low expectations and has blown them all away. Cooper talks about how great it is to be part of the Eagles, a team that works hard on every small detail, where players treat each other like brothers. He says it's about staying focused, keeping his faith strong, and giving 100% every day. That kind of mindset can take a player far in this league. Overall, after sitting through some dull preseason games, Thursday night was electric. Tanner McKee, Darius Cooper, Johnny Wilson, and the running backs all gave fans a reason to cheer. It was the kind of game that reminds you why you love football. But the night wasn't without worry. Sidney Brown suffered a scary shoulder injury on a hard tackle. We all held our breath as he left for the medical tent. The good news? He was back on the sideline later, still in pads, which is a positive sign. The bad news came early. Elijah Cooks, who had been lighting up training camp, went down with a serious lower leg injury while covering a kick. He was carted off in tears, and while we don't have full details yet, it looks like a major setback for him. This game showed the highs and lows of football, moments of hope, struggle, and heartbreak. Now, I want to hear from you. Who impressed you most tonight? How worried are you about the injuries? Drop your thoughts and let's talk about what the Eagles need to do next. First, let's say a prayer for Elijah Cooks. The injury he suffered looks serious, and the fear is he might be lost for the entire season. We don't have the full update yet, but I'll keep you posted as soon as more news comes out. This is a tough blow for a player who had an incredible training camp and was really starting to shine. Now, moving on to some bright spots from the game, the running backs. Will Shipley and A.J. Dillon both looked fantastic, showing speed, power, and determination. These two look ready to provide solid relief for Saquon Barkley whenever he needs a breather. Compared to last year with Kenneth Gainwell, this backfield looks stronger and deeper. That's huge for Philadelphia's offense this season. On the defensive line, though, things were a little disappointing. Josh Uche and Azeez Ojulari played a lot, but they struggled to get any real pressure on the quarterback, especially Ojulari, who couldn't make the impact the team hoped for. But not everything was bad. Ty Robinson stood out with his first sack as a pro and was frequently near the ball, showing promise even if he didn't dominate. And Patrick Johnson made the highlight of the night on defense. He tipped a pass and then intercepted it late in the second half, even though one of his sacks was wiped out by a penalty. Wide receiver Ania Smith also had a great night. He caught a touchdown early and dazzled fans with a 46-yard punt return that showed off his speed and vision. Special teams can change games, and Smith made a strong case to be Philly's go-to returner this year. Finally, the rookie Jihad Campbell got some playing time. He didn't get many snaps, but when he was on the field, he nearly made an interception that would have been a huge moment. It was clear the team is managing his workload carefully. This was about getting him comfortable hitting full speed and feeling the intensity of live game action. Campbell said it felt amazing just to be out there, soaking it all in with his teammates and fans. He's growing fast, athletic, and versatile, and everyone expects him to keep improving day by day. All in all, the Eagles' first preseason game was a roaring success. If you took away the struggles of Key Ringo and Dory Jackson, you'd be saying, wow, these guys look incredible. The backups shredded the Bengals' defense, and the starters showed flashes of greatness. But the big question remains, what do you do at cornerback? For now, the hope is that Yokorian Bennett, recently traded in, can be the answer to Philly's cornerback problems. But only time will tell. So now, I want to hear from you. What did you think about the quarterback battle? Who stood out on offense? And how worried are you about the defense? Philly has some exciting pieces. Tamer Key, Johnny Wilson, Ania Smith, and Darius Cooper all showed up strong. This team is fun to watch, whether it's starters or backups. We've got joint practices with the Cleveland Browns coming soon, and that's going to be huge. I'll be covering all the action in detail, so stay tuned. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This season could be something special, and your opinion matters. Who do you trust to step up? Who needs to prove it? Sound off below.